Reuben, how you doing? You well?
Very well, very well.
Good to see you, my brother. You're a Creative Associate with Riverside Studios, and next week a special exhibition created by yourself comes to market. Black and Gifted, right? Kicks off at the West London venue. Tell me more. I know it was inspired by Benjamin Zephaniah, making reference to the fact that it was a space that they used to consider a safe haven many moons ago. But why is the exhibition taking place?
Yeah, so essentially we've been open for 45 years, had a lot of talent in the building. In 2014, our projects manager, Daniel Furman, he basically applied for funding to get our archive restored, because we had basically loads of material in this archive and it was just wrecked and sort of neglected essentially. From that, we sort of managed to get funding from the National Lottery Heritage Fund, and we essentially got a lot of this material restored. I've been in that new archive, and I've been, sifting through and looking at black performers who have performed at Riverside Studios for the last 40 years. Essentially, what kind of started out as, curiosity kind of turned into a journey of personal discovery, because what I found in there was just incredible.
Treasure trove.
Treasure trove. And, some of the black performers that have performed at Riverside Studios, talking people, Norman Beaton, Mona Hammond, Charles Honey Coles, who people may know from Dirty Dancing, Roger Griffiths, he's in EastEnders at the moment. Some of these people became household names, and they kind of, some of their early days were at Riverside Studios, took place at Riverside Studios. We're talking about companies like Black Theatre Cooperative, who are now Nitro, and companies like Tallow. So essentially, this exhibition is a celebration, and it's our Riverside Studios' first exhibition from our own archive. This is material that has been taken from Riverside Studios, and essentially it's like presenting, this unearthed sort of history that maybe some people have forgotten to the world again. And I think when people come and see it, they're going to be so surprised and sort of inspired by what they see.
What was the criteria that you used to make your selections? I can imagine you've come across too much to put into one exhibition like this. It's on for a month, from March 13th to mid-April, I believe, right? How did you choose it, man? How did you narrow it down?
Do you know what? Going through the exhibition, going through the archive, I found so many photos. I would have loved to put everything in there that I found. But essentially what I looked at the most, and the reason why it's called Black and Gifted, is because there's so many photos that speak to me as a young black male. And I think will speak to so many people, not even if you're just black, but just being able to see so many black creatives enjoying their work, and the names that you're going to find in this exhibition that you're going to see, and the pictures, they're so striking. It's people enjoying themselves, enjoying their art. And it's a really good story because, sometimes the narrative around when you hear the word black, you kind of think about adversity and, maybe struggle. But actually in this, there's so many people in their younger days. You see, people like Norman Beaton, who obviously played Desmond in Desmond's. He's one of the most influential black actors, that's ever lived. But you see him in his younger days. He starred in Black Jacobins, and these gifted actors that went on to actually go and do brilliant things. Many of them started out, just having fun, but became household names, and that's why it's called Black and Gifted, because there's so many black people that you see having fun. They're gifted, but they went on to do brilliant things. If you can see it, you can be it. We've all heard that, and essentially, we're talking about, this exhibition. The material in there is from 40 years ago. People complain about diversity today. We talk, it's a big topic. It's a buzzword, diversity in the arts. And when you kind of look at, when people come to see this exhibition, they're going to walk away with a lot of inspiration. They're going to be in awe by some of the photos. There's a bit of discovery in there as well. And I think for anyone who's just interested in the arts in general, you're going to come to this exhibition and you're going to walk away, with a lot of joy, because a lot of the photos feature a lot of black joy, and you're going to be inspired.
If you could come, you've talked about how you selected them, right? And I can see the thread that runs through as a theme. How can the work be used? And if it's not this work, how can art that emanates from our community be used as a tool for social and political change?
Ooh, good question. Essentially, what I think anybody like me as the curator of this exhibition, my goal was to spark inspiration, to spark curiosity, to spark ideas. This exhibition also runs alongside some workshops and some events. So for instance, we have Benjamin Zephaniah coming in to do an evening with Benjamin Zephaniah's in the Q&A session.
Do you want to float the date on that?
That will be the 20th of March. We have Nadine Dingabisi, he's a musician and lyricist. He's going to be coming in to do a music workshop. We're trying to inspire people, we're trying to get the community involved, and we want a legacy to come from this.
What are the challenges you faced then, mate? Because I can see you had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And we've spoken about the fact that you can't include everything, right, which would have been a challenge. But what other challenges did you face pulling this together?
I think the challenge is sort of, I think one of the challenges is definitely how we're gonna sort of position all the photos, and I think just trying to find the right narrative to be able to make sure that this exhibition speaks to people and that they really get something from it. When you're dealing with so much material, you can kind of go down a lot of different roads in terms of what you want the exhibition to be. And to me, I was wrapping my head around, should this exhibition be something more? And sometimes just being able to inspire people through photos is really all that's needed. And again, the workshops that run alongside it, they're going to really help to get people involved in what we're doing. So the challenge was kind of getting to that point in terms of what we wanted it to be and what we wanted the exhibition to say to people. Yeah.
Many, like me, when they do the research on you, because they're going to, right? Yeah. They're going to come across the fact that you are a filmmaker. Tell us a bit about your own background and how it's influenced your work as a curator. I know that you would probably consider yourself an artist, first and foremost. Yeah. I guess refining your talent within the different disciplines is what you've been up to over the years. Speak on that journey. Yeah,
my journey obviously started with film. Love film, I have a huge passion for film. Started out in the film industry, worked in commercials for a bit, directed some of my own short films which featured in...
I think we featured one, right? Amal,
yeah, that's right, yeah. And you know, they featured in film festivals over Europe. But again, I'm just in love with art and presenting things to people. So to me, this is a different discipline, but to me, it's the same thing. I'm presenting something to people that they're going to visually look at and they're going to be able to walk away. You know, they're going to make up their own mind about what they think about it, but hopefully they take away, you know, some things that are going to make them think and possibly, hopefully, act.
But how did you get involved with Riverside?
I got involved in Riverside because I wanted to sort of get involved in an arts organisation that essentially serves the community as well. I've always wanted to kind of make a difference in whatever I'm doing, and Riverside Studios is unique in that it's an art centre that likes to pull in the community. We have, you know, a programme that helps the community and gets people involved in what we're doing. Yeah, that's why really.
How long have you been there?
I've been there just under a year now.
Under a year?
Yeah.
So is it the type of relationship that you have there? Would you like to kind of develop that elsewhere? Are there other institutions you'd like to partner with, or do you not look that far down the road?
Yeah, I'm not looking that far down the road. At the end of the day, I'm just trying to get this exhibition out there, and from that, we'll see what comes. But loving my time at Riverside Studios, I think it's a great place.
So on Black and Gifted then as an exhibition, they've saved money by using their own archive. So is there scope for it to be presented up and down the country, for it to leave the current venue? What does that look like?
Well, this is funded by the National Lottery Heritage Fund. So I think the projects manager, Daniel Furman, it's up to him to sort of see where we take it. But I think it shows what you can do. You know, it's important that we have archives to, you know, protect the history of art, essentially. Hope Fulton, who's our archivist, has done a brilliant job in maintaining the archive and sort of sorting everything out.
It's a job, right?
It's a crazy job. I don't know how she does it, but done a brilliant job. And I think, you know, if it wasn't for people like that, we wouldn't be able to present this to the world. So, you know.
On a scale of, you know, in terms of things that you've presented throughout your journey, how proud are you of this?
This is probably my proudest moment.
Wow, okay.
It's my proudest moment because I think I think this will inspire so many people.
Yeah.
I think so many people are going to come to see this. They're going to see these images and they're going to walk away with so much inspiration. And hopefully, again, they act and we get people involved. People want to be a part of something. And this is honouring like all the black artists that came before me, essentially. And sometimes, you know, growing up, you hear about people like Norman Beaton, Benjamin Zephaniah. To be able to do an exhibition where these people are a part of it is special for me. And also just to be able to inspire other black creatives out there who are going to come and see this, and they're going to be able to see a history of black artists that have performed and reached the highest level in the entertainment industry.
What advice, Reuben, would you give to anybody who's young? I mean, how old are you?
I'm 31 years old.
Right, so you got young up-and-comings, half your age, looking at their GCSEs, looking at a road in front of them, thinking, I do a bit of film, I do a bit of this, a bit of photography, a bit of that. I just like art, but I don't know what lane to jump in and to, you know, focus on. That choice can sometimes scatter the thinking, so you end up doing nothing. Obviously, everybody's road is everybody's road, right? But if you was offering some advice on how they can kind of really focus and bring about some of the dreams that they've got floating around in their mind's eye, what would you advise? Be fearless.
Be fearless. Don't fear anything. I don't fear anything. And also take action. Like, you have to be able to take action on what you're doing. This is my first official curation job. I'm not afraid to fail. And I think sometimes the biggest thing is fear of failure. And as a creative, you can't have fear. You have to be able to put yourself out there. You have to be able to take action. Take action. Don't fear anything.
What's the rest of the year look like for you beyond Black and Gifted?
Do you know what? Black and Gifted, we'll see where this takes us. Not just me, but Riverside Studios and the team of people that have worked on it as well. I'm excited to maybe even, you know, dip my feet back in film again and probably, you know, come up with a new film project. Because this has really got the creative juices flowing. But again, it's literally inspired me as well. Looking at all those black creatives and what they've done, what they've achieved, I've got the hunger for more now. And yeah, if it's inspired me, then I know that it's going to inspire some of the people that come to actually see the exhibition.
Good luck for you, man. Where can people find out more about you?
I'm on Instagram, Reuben Esson-Parkes. Again, come to Riverside Studios, have a conversation. There's a lot of things happening there. We're a creative hub. Just looking at the Riverside Studios website, riversidestudios.com probably. I think that's the website.
yeah, check it out. Riverside Studios, people, Hammersmith, West London.
Yeah, man. Check it out.
Before you go, it's remiss of me not to ask this actually, but obviously on the website promoting the event is a quote from Benjamin Zephaniah where he speaks on the fact that this space at Riverside Studios was one of the few that would embrace black artists, and it was home from home, I think the quote is. We're clearly in a position where we're a lot more fortunate that we have more spaces now to maybe go and where our art is appreciated, but is there enough? Are we there yet, or can we do better?
We're not there yet, but one thing I will say is, you know, just touching back on that, on what Benjamin Zephaniah said when he said Riverside Studios was a home from home. Peter Gill in the 70s, late 70s and going into the 80s, he opened up the rehearsal spaces and the studios for young black creatives to come and be a part of something. And there's a legacy in that. Because a lot of those people that I've spoken about, Benjamin Zephaniah, Mona Hammond, Talawa, Black Theatre Cooperative, they done a lot of work there that set a legacy and helped them to, you know, push their careers forward. We need more people like Peter Gill and places like Riverside Studios that are going to be a creative hub for black people, for black creatives, and, you know, welcome them and allow them to be fearless and to go out there and just create. There's not enough places like that. But Riverside Studios, probably many people may not have heard of it, but if you haven't heard of it, look it up, go there, check some stuff out, because they've been doing this thing for 40 years. And what we're talking about today, when we talk about diversity and creative hubs, they've been doing it for 40 years. So, but we need more, and people can't be complacent in that. But again, now we're at will to be able to do it ourselves as well. So if you're a black creative out there, what can you do for yourself? Again, be free, let's go out there, take action, get some friends together, and maybe come to Riverside Studios and see what you can do.
Reuben Esson-Parkes, appreciate your time, brother.
I appreciate it.